What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Relaxing Thoughts Podcast. I am your host, this is To Relaxation, and we are back again with another episode. And as always, you guys enjoy listening to this podcast and things that I talk about and whatnot. Please be sure to share this. And I'm not sure. I heard that this is still it's in beta, but I'm not sure. But apparently on Spotify you can now rate podcasts, so I know you can also do it on Apple. So either or, if you guys are listening to this podcast, be sure to rate this podcast so it can grow. But so let's get into the important subject here. I wasn't planning on doing this podcast, but I felt like I didn't, because I wasn't sure of my timeline and scheduling. I would have liked to have given you guys a heads up on the last episode that I may have not been able to make this episode, but being that I didn't, so I'm gonna try to get this one out so I can clear things up. But I'm not going to be able to I am able to record this episode. I wasn't almost able not to. I am packing things up right now, so I have to pack up my mic and all of that. So I thought I can just get this episode out real quickly, which sucks because I don't want to be one to like force episodes out. Like I always like to have something to talk about when I do my shows, so there's that. But I didn't just want to randomly just not upload an episode, and then my upload schedule will kind of be off for anyone who's like following my schedule. Whenever I get the chance to upload again, it might not follow the same 2-week pattern that I've been doing the whole time. So just as a heads up, I mean, it probably everything might be good by the time I come for the next episode. But just as a heads up, if things just happen, I might not be able to record that next episode, but I think things should be fine. This is going to be the only episode that's going to be rough. But with that being said, this is going to be the rough episode, but I am really planning on like stepping things up more going forward, like not only with just my podcasting, but like with streaming and creating videos and all of that stuff. That kind of like I was like, I had a good start on it, and then I slowed down again because I was preparing for this next shift in my life. So now that I'm finally getting to it, I can now fully focus on my content creating life and my passions and hobbies and things I enjoy doing more. So that's gonna be it. So yeah, I just want to get that out the way. Since the last episode, what I have been up to, I've been kind of doing the same thing, playing video games. I had this conversation yesterday about video games, so I'm gonna get into it later in depth. But yeah, I've been playing video games. I took a chance and watched Encanto. Or is it I think it's Encanto. Because everyone is constantly doing the "We Don't Talk About Bruno" song, which that song is amazing. So it's understandable. But I decided to watch that movie just so I didn't want to follow, like I didn't want to like, oh yeah, this song is dope, and not really fully support the whole thing. The funny thing about this is if you anyone know from previous episodes, I talked about like Lin-Manuel, like my connection with him and how I discovered the In the Heights play back in 2007, which led to eventually the movie finally coming out and what that meant to me. His music, when I like the way he makes his music and whatnot, it's like I feel like he knows, like, because I always, like I mentioned before, like struggling with my identity, like being mixed and having different cultures within my family background and not knowing which side to completely resonate with, because I'm not fully like in depth with all of them. Like I can't speak Spanish, or I don't enjoy certain things on my mother's side of the family like in depth as the way they do. So it's like, and then being that I grew up where I grew up and how I grew up is like completely different from both sides of the family. So it's like I'm just like 3 different layers of a person type thing. So it's like dealing with how do I identify more with myself and what part of my life. And I feel like Lin-Manuel stuff is just like it makes me really get in touch with my like Hispanic side of my life and whatnot. Like, so that In the Heights play, like, it meant so much to me because it was kind of the first time it really resonated with me, with like being proud of where I am on that side of the family, where I came from and whatnot. So watching this movie, the funny thing about this movie is I don't know what movie I was watching. I went to go see a movie in the theater. It was most likely a Marvel movie, because those was the only movies I really went to go see in the theaters like recently in my life. And they put that as one of the, like, you know, when they're showing all the previews and the trailers for upcoming movies. That movie was one of the movies that was like being previewed. They didn't really explain much about it, but they just showed the main character in the house, and they put the music is gonna be made by Lin-Manuel, and I was like, oh, like this man is really like doing his thing now, because like going from the play, then Hamilton, which just took over the Broadway play like world, and then eventually get in the movie. And then now he's over here doing music soundtracks for animated Disney films. So I was already intrigued by it, but I forgot. I forgot what it was called, and it wasn't really. It's hard to explain, because I think there's another movie that recently came out too. I don't know if it was Disney or something, but there was another one. I think it was also like, it had to do with like a Hispanic background too, and I thought that movie was it, but I don't know. I guess you can tell because no one was really talking about it, and I guess there wasn't no music, so it wasn't getting the buzz like that. So this one just came out the blue, and then everyone is constantly singing the songs, and I'm like, okay, this might be that movie. And then I went to go when I was going to watch it and searched it up. Like I was like, why everybody liking this song so much? And I was like, where this movie came from? You know, like, oh, this is this movie. I was like, all right, I enjoy his stuff, so I was going to watch it. Definitely a great watch. Like, it's one of those movies, don't, like, just because it's Disney and it's animated, don't think it's a kid's film. Like, this movie does touch on some deep things that, like, everybody can kind of resonate with. So definitely, if you have not watched it and you probably just got turned off just because everyone constantly singing We Don't Talk About Bruno, just look past that, I guess, and just watch the movie for what it is. And of course, enjoy the music. Like, there's some other dope songs in that movie too. It's just, the thing about We Don't Talk About Bruno is, it's like, if you watch it and of course listening to it, I don't think it's something that's normally done in Disney movies with that have musical like in the elements in it. It's like it's like literally taking the elements of theater and doing plays and turning it into an animation. Like, the multiple people who sing it in the songs is something that's not normally done. It's usually like 1 or 2 people within the movies that always have like their standout songs. Like even going from like Aladdin, like the whole new world, that was just two people. Genie had his solo song, so like for a whole cast of people to be like involved with this one song is dope. And then you watching how like they dance around and how they move is like it's how people move in theater. So it's like literally it's like he's taking his background in theater and putting it on an animated project, so it's amazing. But yeah, it's dope. Definitely dope movie, dope music, of course, as always. Yeah, definitely recommend it. Aside from that, I don't think I've watched anything else. Yeah. Like I'm just preparing right now for this next phase of my life. So I haven't got time to like do a lot of personal things. I've just been doing things to pass time just so I can get through the day. But that's mainly that. I've been listening to a lot of music. This man Nas came out. I didn't talk about it in the last episode because it just kind of just flew past my head. But this man Nas just dropped another album. This man dropped the album like once a year lately. Like I don't know what the hell is going on with him, but this man acting like he's freaking like he's a new artist over here dropping all these dope ass projects. It's too much to keep up. But I always wonder about that too. Like there's the whole stigma of like, you know, our attention spans have gotten shorter throughout life because of like the social media era and whatnot. Like we expect a lot of things to be instant, and how long we like digest the information is like not that long. So people who make music is like you gotta constantly like, all right, your album came out a week later, we forgot about it, so what you gonna do for me now? So I feel like that's the struggle with most artists gotta do now. Like they gotta constantly like keep their name going, but then there's like the other artists back then like who can uphold a legendary status, and you know the way they drop their projects is like, you know, very spaced out. Like even like Kendrick is doing it now. Like I think when did Damn come out? I want to say 2017 maybe. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm just throwing that date out. But yeah, like he haven't dropped the album since. So it's like he's like pacing himself. Even I do it at times. Well, I do it more so now. That like, but because when I was first started doing my music, like from high school and whatnot, like I was doing like either I was planning projects or I was just making multiple projects like all within the same year. Like I think I dropped 2 projects within the same year at one point. And it's not only that, it's like when I say, because it's like the way to think about it in years, I'm like to think about it in like number years and then thinking about it in high school. Yeah, like my music career literally started in my senior year of high school. So within my senior year of high school, from when I first started to by the time I graduated, I probably have worked on, either I have released or there's projects that I worked on and they just never got out publicly because I was in groups and whatnot. Like I've done at least probably like 5 projects within one school year. But I only released 3. Yeah, I only released 3. The 4th one came right after graduation, but it was worked on during high school because I remember some of the songs I recorded and where I was in my life when I recorded that. But yeah, like like I was out there just constantly making music, and then it got to a point where when I was in college and doing a whole lot of soul searching and finding myself, that I kind of like started pacing myself more. So I went from dropping a project probably like once a year maybe, and then I was gonna stop doing music in 2015 altogether. But then I don't know. It just kind of came. Well, not only that it came back to me, but I finally like dealt with my inner demons in life and started to like finally push through with all the stuff I was dealing with in my past. So I finally had a new outlet, and it's like having a new breath of fresh air within my life. So some of my hobbies I started getting back into again. So I ended up finally coming back to making music in 2017. And since then, I dropped like a project like either once a year or once every 2 years. I would like do like my little compilation mixtape within like each release of my main projects. So, but yeah, but I don't know, like I had this conversation, because we had this conversation in the couple episodes ago about like how long you've been in the music game and like all the music that I put out, but like what if I end up becoming popular now? And it's like I have decades, like I've been doing this for a decade, which sounds wild to say, but I've been doing this for a decade, and it's like you finally know about me now. I'm a new artist now, but it's like I got all this music from back then, just like, you know, like I've been doing this. So it's like, I don't know, like how much you gotta keep pushing yourself out there. But I mean, my goal was never really to become big. Like I just enjoy doing it. But it's like you never know what can happen. So yeah, I don't even know what I was really trying to transition to there, but yeah. So yeah, going to video games. Yeah, so I was having this conversation yesterday about like not knowing if it's like I don't want to say my age, but I guess my personality shift or my maturity or something, or if it's the games that's coming out now or whatever. Like it's like, cause it wasn't until a certain time period that like it went from, hey, I'm trying to play all the new hot games in my life, to, hey, we're just playing this one game and this one game only. Like we rarely buy new games. Like we just stuck on this one game, and it kind of feel like it just kills the drive to keep playing new games now. And then when you do play a new game, it's like it don't keep you in. Like I mentioned before, like back then, like before I even had online gaming, like some of these games used to keep me like occupied for months, and now it's like I beat a game like in a week or so, and it's like I uninstall it, I don't play it again, and that's that. But I'm also finding myself like enjoying more simple games, I guess, or more I don't want to say casual games, but it's like more like I want to say common and relaxing games. I guess I'm playing like a lot of like simulator games. It's just like just sit there and just like create stuff and like manage things, or puzzle games. I've been playing a lot of puzzle games too. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a shift in like how I'm approaching games now, or just they just not really making good games like they used to. I don't know, but that's the dilemma we having. yeah, I don't know. Like it's definitely gonna be another short episode again too, because like I said, this was just on a whim of like, hey, let me try to do this last minute. And like I said, as another heads up, as just in case if I don't end up having the time to do another episode, yeah, at least I'm saying it now. But like I said, once things get settled, I'm gonna try to start picking myself up in the podcast and stuff. Definitely want to try to have more guests and be a guest in podcasts, and just experience that, and just branch out into doing more new things within like my whole content creating and stuff. So yeah, that's that. Other than that, I think that's all. I mean, it's a lot of topics I want to talk about, but I'm not sure if I want to talk about them by myself or if I want to have guests. So like I said, there's still a guest that I have like in the stash that I really want to record an episode with, and they want to do an episode too, and I feel like that episode is probably gonna be forever because that's someone I can talk about everything with. So if I don't know if because they don't like having like scripted stuff either, so like if I would like say, hey, let's just talk about this, it's like, I don't know, it kind of feels restricted, and I kind of feel like I don't want to do that either with this person, but we'll see how it goes, because that last one was 3 hours, and that one was somewhat scripted, not completely, but yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, I could talk about pretty much everything with this person, and there's a lot of things I would like to talk about with this person on podcast, so we'll see where that goes. That might end up being like parts, like 3 parts or something. But that's still scheduling and whatnot. And then in the meantime, there's other people that I would try to contact and do collabs with and whatnot. And just trying to grow and enjoy this podcasting life that I immersed myself into. But yeah, other than that, I think I'm going to end this short episode here just to give you guys something so it doesn't feel weird that I just randomly did not upload an episode for who knows how long it will be until I'm able to record one again. So yeah, appreciate you guys sticking through with me. For all the listeners out there, like I know there's not a lot of people who like literally like reach out to me and tell me things, but there is a lot of people who be listening to my podcast. When I look at the numbers and whatnot, like I do appreciate everyone who listens and finds some kind of enjoyment out of this, whoever my random ramblings be. But yeah, I'm just trying to give everyone a chill, relaxing, experience, whether like even if you just listen to my podcast and end up falling asleep to it, whatnot, like I'm totally fine with that. Like there's been times where I actually fell asleep listening to my own podcast because I was trying to edit it, so I'm trying to listen to any things I need to like remove, and I'm just listening to myself, and I'm like coming home from a day of work and I'm already tired as it is, and then I listen to myself and I'm like, all right, this ain't gonna happen right now. I'm taking a nap. But yeah, so I don't know. I just hope you guys enjoy this. And I want to find more ways so that maybe that there's a possibility that we can connect together. I'm thinking about just reinventing like everything about my podcast. So it's just like all one place hub for just the podcast, I guess. I think that's what I'm doing wrong. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking. That's one thing I struggle with a lot too. I overthink a lot. But yeah, so with that being said, I don't know how this podcast is gonna come out. Like audio quality wise, because I'm doing a different method. Maybe it might sound obvious depending on how things came out. I'm looking at the levels here. There's some parts that peaked a lot. I don't know if that was me or not. But I'll try to fix that within that end. So yeah, again, appreciate everyone who listens, take the time to listen. Definitely appreciate anyone who shares this and let other people know about this. And again, like I said, you guys can rate this on Apple and Spotify. Apparently, I personally have not seen it, but if it's a thing, yeah, please be sure, because people have talked about that. It is there. I just don't know if it's like only certain podcasts can have it, if like they're extremely popular or something. I don't know. So yeah, and yeah, no question of the day. This was just a update episode, I guess. It was, I don't know, filler. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys having a good day and a good week as always. And until the next time, and then I can finally make everything official with what's going on and move forward. And yeah, peace.